The time is 12:50. I did not mean to open that. I am on page 265 of Read the Gates. The Booktubeathon has officially started, and yes, I'm just now brushing my teeth. Don't judge me. Guten Morgen. Is that how that's said? Hey guys, it's Hannah, and today is day 1 of the Booktubeathon, as you saw from the previous clip. I have no apologies. So I've already been to work today. I didn't have a very long shift, which was nice. And I was able to read a little bit more of Read the Gates. I am now on page 321. And it's picked up. It's picked up. When I was starting it, for the first like 120 pages, I was pretty bored. I was so bored to the point that I was really considering just DNFing this book and reading it a different time, but I knew if I stopped reading it, I'd probably never get back to it. So I kept reading. My goal last night was to get to about halfway through it, and I did that, and around like 150-ish pages, I guess, it started to pick up. And so now like, I'm more invested in the story. I want to know what happens. I'm still not loving it. I still don't feel that complete enamorment I think that's the right word, but that everybody else feels. You know how it's just a book people gush over, and I want to be a person that gushes over it, but I'm not. So I don't know what it is, but it's really good and I enjoy them, but I don't have that same deep love for them that most people seem to have, which doesn't really make sense to me because I feel like it's the kind of series that I would really like and I should really like, but I'm not really liking it. I don't know, but it's growing on me so far. I'm enjoying it so far. So this is what I'm currently reading. If you saw my TBR, then you know that Nimona was going to be my first book for the Booktubeathon. And I was probably going to start it early. Well, I did. I started it early. I finished it the day I started it. It was fantastic. It was so good. I'll go ahead and wrap it up as if I had read it during the Booktubeathon. It was so good. It was so fun. I loved the art style, and it was just a great story, and I loved it, and it was funny but also touching. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It's been really nice because the only 2 graphic novels I've read have both been great graphic novels, so like it gets me excited for them. I don't think I'll ever make the complete jump into graphic novels. Maybe I will, who knows, because like I'm slowly making my way over there. But the ones I've read so far have been great. So I was able to do challenge number 1. I'll link it so you can go watch it. What's up? So I'm hiding out in my closet because it is 12:52 and everybody else is asleep and I don't want to wake them up, so I'm gonna be really quiet. But I just finished Read the Gates, and let me tell you, it grew on me. And I'm so glad it did. So as you know, I've been having problems with this series. It's like, sometimes I'm just not emotionally vested in it. And it's weird because I want to like it and I do like it, but I don't love it as much as I feel like I should and as much as I want to. And it's very frustrating. But the ending of this book and like the second half of this book really grew on me, and it was really good. In the beginning, I was worried this was going to be a 3-star book, and I didn't want to give it 3 stars, but at the time I thought I was going to have to give it 3 stars because that's just what it was for me. But it's now up to a 4-star book. But the ending really sold it for me, and especially like the very end, like after the big thing that happens at the end, like when 2 certain people, you try and get what I'm insinuating. If you read the book, then I really appreciated that. Like, I'm really excited to see where that goes in the next book. So I think one reason why I'm so happy about this book is because it makes me excited for the next one. And I wasn't really excited for this one, but I'm excited for the next one, and that has me very happy. All in all, I'm pleased with this book. I'm happy with it. I'm glad I read it. I'm glad I plowed through it. So next I'm gonna read Lumberjanes, but for now I'm gonna go to bed because we're gonna get up early and go to Austin in the morning. I don't know if I'll do any vlogging there. I'm probably gonna bring the camera, so hopefully I will, but if not, apologies in advance. This is my favorite thing. It's my favorite thing.
And remind me.
Got some new jeans. Ooh, look at those. So cute. So cute. And I finished reading Lumberjanes. It's downstairs, so I'm not gonna go get it. But I finished reading it. 5 out of 5 stars. So good, so cute. I love the artwork. Love the artwork. And when it ended, I wasn't expecting it to end because there were more pages. So got a bit of a shock, and I really want to know what happens next. So I've got to get the next volumes. Like, I'm really liking this. Only problem is I realized that was going to be my wear a hat the whole time book, and I didn't wear a hat at all. So I'm gonna have to switch that. My next book is Half Magic, so I'm going to wear a hat while I read Half Magic, and I think the hat I'm going to wear is this one. So let's get started. so bad at vlogging, I'm sorry. So I just woke up. It is day 3 of the Booktubeathon. I'm only on page 47 of Half Magic because I've been distracted by a couple of things, you know, family's one, but then also I discovered this webtoon. I found this Hades and Persephone one on Instagram and I was reading that one, and then my cousin saw it and she's like, ooh, have you read I Love You? I think it's pronounced you because, you know, I love you, but it's spelled Y-O-O, so it might not be pronounced you, but I think it is. But anyway, she was like, it's fantastic, I love it, you need to read it. So I found it and I started reading it, and now I'm hooked on it, and so I've been reading that instead of my book. So could that count as a book? Can a webtoon count as a book? Cause please. One thing that, you know, is pretty crazy. Most people just have meat in their freezers. We've got books. We've got all kinds of books. Just they're everywhere. Hey baby boy. Yeah. You happy? You happy?
Oh my gosh, I'm not sure I can get a good picture. Someone send me a picture because my phone won't take pictures.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad would you say we're doing?
A 12.
12 being really bad?
Yeah.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad would you say we're doing?
Personally, I'm doing about like a 2.
Don't lie to yourself, honey.
I'm an 8. It, like,
You're the 12, I'm the 10, okay? I do something.
I killed that one. I was doing by myself, so.
That's true. Well.
Pop it, I guess.
Go, go!
Get in the tunnel! Just get in the tunnel!
So it's been a hot minute since I've done any vlogging or videotaping. Hopefully y'all saw a few little random clips of my family being here. But other than that, I haven't really had time nor energy to do any sort of filming. But today's Friday. Today's day 5? Yeah, day 5 of the Booktubeathon. And let me update you on my reading thus far. So, I'm pretty sure last I talked to y'all, I was starting Half Magic. So this book follows 4 siblings who find this little magic object that grants wishes, but there's a trick to the way the wishes are granted. And I got this at an antique shop just because I loved the cover, I loved the spine, and it was really cute. I went ahead and gave it 4 stars. It was technically more of a 3-star enjoyment read, but it's one of those books that I know if I had read it when I was a kid, I would have really, really loved it. So I went ahead and gave it a 4 stars. Now I haven't read any book that has a movie adaptation. However, we did watch Eloise, and that's based off a book, so I'm kind of going to count that. I don't have the Eloise book. I guess I could try and find it in the last few days. So I don't know if it will count, but I love the Christmas movie. The regular, you know, non-Christmas movie is good too, but the Christmas, Eloise Christmas, is amazing and I love it and you should watch it. Next, I read How We Weep and Laugh at the Same Thing by Michel de Montaigne. I don't know. And this book sucked. It was so bad. The author is very pretentious. It feels like he's really looking down on you, everything that he's saying, even the simple mundane things. He has this air about his writing where it's like he is just so high up there when the stuff he's saying is pretty like common thought stuff in a way, or well-known stuff, even if people don't agree with it, like people know people think that kind of thing. And so it's like it was nothing revolutionary, but he was like putting it across as it was. But what really got me about this book is that the ending seemed to really condemn and look down upon and scorn mourning, which it's just, let's just say, it really rubbed me the wrong way at the end, and I hated it. I was already bored within the first like 2 or 3 pages, but it's 50 pages. I was like, I'm just gonna finish it, and the whole way it was like, this is boring, this sucks, this author is annoying to read, and also I felt like he kind of went in circles with what he was saying. I don't know, I feel like he didn't answer the title or explain the title very well, so it was just an all-around awful book, and I do not recommend it. I actually recommend that you avoid it with every fiber of your being. Now I am currently reading The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon. This book is on the Great American Reads list. I will have that video that I have linked down below and in a corner. This book is about a kid who has some form of autism, I believe. I'm not positive though, so don't quote me on that. One day he finds his neighbor's dog that is dead and it's been stabbed with a, not a fork, it's a garden fork. So like the little like mini pitchfork thing. But when it first said he was stabbed with a fork, I'm here picturing like a dinner fork and just just very confused. But anyway, the dog was killed. And so he starts trying to solve the mystery of the dog's death. And so far, I'm really enjoying it. I'm flying through it. It has like some pictures and diagrams in it that I'm loving. It's just a really great story so far, and I'm highly enjoying it. I'll probably finish tonight if I can just sit down and read through it. So I grabbed a couple books from my library. First one I have is I Am Still Alive by Kate Alice Marshall. I've been seeing a lot of this go around, and when I first saw it, it was like, ooh, well that sounds cool, especially because I've been really into like nature-esque books lately. From what I understand, it's about a girl who somehow, I don't remember how she ends up in the wilderness, but somehow she ends up having to survive in the wilderness on her own. And I've heard nothing but great things. It's kind of like a thriller, but in an outdoor setting, which I am excited for. So I want to show you some of the crafty stuff that has happened over the weekend, because we did a bunch of crafty stuff. Also today, I was at my library because I was in an art exhibit there. That was a really weird way to say exhibit. And I don't have a video from it, but here is a picture. It's called This Is Not a Pelican, because it's not a pelican, it's a roseate spoonbill based off a picture I took myself, and it's made out of styrofoam and acrylic paint. And if you want to find out how I made it, you can ask in the comments and I'll let you know. It's a long explanation. The title is also a play on the painting by Rene Magritte. I don't know how to actually pronounce his name, but that's the painter. The This Is Not a Pipe one, where it's a painting of a pipe, but it says this is not a pipe because it isn't a pipe. It's a painting of a pipe, but it is a pipe. My painting takes it a step further because it's not a pelican, though most people thought it was a pelican when I was working on it. It's not a pelican, it's a roseate spoonbill. But even if it were a pelican, it's not a pelican. It's a very nerdy title, but that's what it is. So that was today, and that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. But on to the other things. So the first thing I'm going to show you is unfinished and kind of sad looking if you ask me, but I have this Star Wars crochet book that I haven't done anything out of yet, and it came in a kit. And over the weekend I've been trying to make Wicket the Ewok, and it's been a time. This was my first attempt at his head, and I failed miserably because this is supposed to like unravel it, and it won't come undone, and I do not know what happened or what I did. It's just I also have an arm that didn't work and messed up, and I don't know what I did. But I do have a little Wicket. This is him so far. Let's make it focus on him. Look at him. Except for his little head scarf. Because here's my problem. So the kit doesn't have any orange yarn for his head scarf, so I had to go dig in my stash of yarn, which I crochet pumpkins quite a bit, so I had some, so that was fine. However, the thicker yarn than what comes in the kit, so I ended up with this when I followed the instructions, which, you know, it looks about right, doesn't it? Well, then you put it on his head, and it's just a wee bit big, so I need to figure out how to like tweak the pattern to make this work. But I have the beginnings. I have the Ewok part, which is a feat in itself. I hate doing this kind of crocheting because you have to count and you have to crochet in rounds, and I hate crocheting in rounds because I always lose count. There was one time I sneezed and I went, wait! Did I crochet 9 or did I just say 9? And I had to start over that row. It's very frustrating for me. I don't enjoy doing it. That's why I mostly do like, you know, scarves and cowls and, you know, straight line like washcloth kind of things. But I did it. So that's craft number 1. Craft number 2 is pillowcases. I got this fabric at a fabric store in Cedar Park, Texas. But it's book fabric. I'll push this up so you can see. It's got stacks of books, and then this has like library cards and then stacks of books. And so this is pillowcase number 1, and this is pillowcase number 2. And if you look, see, you can see like the library card stuff. And I love this fabric, and I'm finally using it. I've had it for like a year now, and I finally got around to making them. Pillowcases are so quick and easy to make when you remember the order to make them. Fun fact about pillowcases: always put your border on before you do any side seams, because then you will be sitting and staring at this for like 3 hours wondering how you're going to get the border on without having any raw edges, because you don't want raw edges in pillowcases if you can help it. Since I forgot to do it on this one took me basically all day, whereas this one took me like an hour. Just ignore my sewing nerd self telling you that, but that's just so you know. And this last thing is not something I made, it was something that my aunt made for me as a late graduation present, and I don't know how I'm gonna hold this up to show you, but we're gonna try. I think I might need to move you. Okay, I think this should work better. Let me grab it. It is this book quilt. Isn't it beautiful? I'm in love with it. So it's, oh gosh, this is not gonna work, but can you see that? Can you see it all? Here's the top half. Here's the bottom half, plus you can see some of the back. A fun thing about this quilt is like some of the fabric is from outfits I have done before when I used to compete with sewing outfits. Some of it is from my dad's old shirts, some of it is from my aunt's stash, some of it is from my mom's stash, some of it is from old quilts my mom made me, some of it is from my grandmother's fabric. Like it's a family memory quilt as well as a bookshelf quilt. Just look at how pretty. If you look down here on the bottom, these fabrics are the fabrics from my quilt that I made last year. And yeah, it's really cute. And it's really warm and heavy and I love it. But yeah, so that's all the stuff that's been happening since I've stopped filming. I will say, tomorrow my sister and I are taking a bunch of my furniture to move into my apartment. I'm not moving into my apartment until later in the month, but we're going ahead and putting some of my furniture in there so I don't have to do so much on one day. So I don't know how much filming will happen then. And then Sunday I work, so the reading part of the Booktubeathon has gone much better than planned, but the vlogging part has been about what I expected it to be, which is very sad.
Don't do that! So, today is day 6 of the Booktubeathon, and we are driving to College Station to move furniture of mine into my new apartment. We're going to kind of pan over the back, Joanna.
Okay.
So that's...
This is the mattress. There is like a desk, and this is the bookshelf.
The
this
desk
box.
has a hutch, there's a bookshelf, there's a
chair.
lamp, there's a chair.
I have the wait.
I don't think you can turn around while you're
I have the lampshade in my lap because there's no room in the back.
So it's a full car, very full car. And yeah, that's what today is. No reading. Absolutely no reading.
I actually have a book.
I wrote a book too for when we like pass out of exhaustion from trying to build stuff. Horse, by the way. We're gonna give a review of that book.
I'm not done with it. It's pretty good. I've read her other. They're pretty good. They're very like pretty predictable and basic. So if you're just in for like a chill romance story, pick a book from her. The clouds are perfect. So pretty.
Let's go.
Tractor problems. Hi. But we were able to pass them.
I usually get stuck behind them for like miles, and it's so frustrating.
Today is day 7 of the Booktubeathon, the last day of the Booktubeathon, and I got some new glasses. I feel like, what's his name, Kevin from the new Ghostbusters? But yeah, these are fake, just so you know. They're Harry Potter glasses, obviously. And I just found them in my apartment. So I took them. So it is currently 8:07 p.m. on day 7 of the Booktubeathon. So it is almost over. So yesterday you saw a little bit. I never got a video of my full room together with furniture, so apologies for that. But I have all my furniture moved in. There wasn't a whole lot, so that was nice. I have a bookcase, so that's nice. Also have room on my desk for books. That's also nice. I did manage to finish The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime last night, and it was good. I enjoyed it. It wasn't anything spectacular, but I did enjoy it. It kept me engaged and intrigued the entire time. I enjoyed the really straightforwardness of the writing style. Like, it was just very blunt, very explanatory, but I really liked that because it really added to the story. Honestly, my only big complaint about it is that he'd sometimes go off on tangents about math, and he'd go off on tangents a lot, which is something I really enjoyed and usually found interesting, but then sometimes he'd go off on how to solve a math problem, and I hate math, so I didn't enjoy those parts. But overall, really great book. I highly suggest you read it. Now, I am currently reading I Am Still Alive by Kate Alice Marshall. I am on page 146, so I am about exactly halfway-ish. And I am loving it so far. It is fantastic. It is very engaging, and I am highly enjoying it. I'm just living for it, and I love the way it's written. I love the writing style. I love the concept of it. I'm just very much so enjoying myself. Hopefully I can finish this by tonight. If I don't, that's okay. But if I do, that'll be 7 books. Will I have all the challenges though? Let's look real quick. Okay, so I pulled it up. So challenge number 1 was let a coin toss aside your first read. I did do that, although I did technically read that first read outside of the Booktubeathon. It still helped me decide my second read, so it still counts. Read a book about something you want to do. That was a stretch. I did Lumberjanes because they're at a camp and I like camping. The book I'm reading now is set in Canada, and I've always wanted to go to Canada, so that can count too. So there's 2 that kind of work. and we'll just do those. Read and watch a book to movie adaptation. I do not have that one, but I did watch Eloise, and that's based off a book, so that's like a half count. And we watched A Brother Where Art Thou, which is a movie I've talked about before, and it is very, 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 very loosely based on the Odyssey. That also kind of counts, so I might give myself a half credit for that. Read a book with green on the cover. Reaper at the Gates had green on the cover, so that's the one for that. Read a book while wearing the same hat the whole time. I did that for Half Magic. Admittedly, sometimes I was not wearing the hat, but for a majority of the book I wore the hat, so I'm gonna go ahead and let that slide. I'm giving myself a lot of leeway with these, aren't I? Read a book with a beautiful spine. That was Half Magic because it has cats on it. If it has cats on it, it has to be considered beautiful. And then the last one is read 7 books. So if I finish this by the end of the Booktubeathon, I will have read 7 books. Kind of completed all the challenges. I'm cheating. Just a little, but it's fine. So hopefully I can finish that before midnight.
Assiduous.
C?
No, it's A. Diligent.
Knew it wasn't B. I was like, ah.
So, we had a power outage, as you saw. And so we're playing a game called Hug-a-Mugger. It's my favorite game of all time. I love it so much. And so I got a little bit behind on my reading. Hang on, I gotta show you Waylon. Can you see him? Look at this little babe. He's just eating up all this attention. Just eating it up. What is he doing? Is he down? Is he gonna stay there? Time will tell. Oh, he's headed for the camera, isn't he? You are a cutie, just as cute as can be. Look at that tail, man. I love his tail. It's so funny. Anyway, so that put a halt on my reading. I am on page 202, so I did make some progress, which is really nice. I am loving it so far. It really picked up, and now it's just, ooh, so good. I don't think I'm gonna finish it before midnight though, plus I have work in the morning, so I think this will be my final clip of the vlog. Waylon's, just, biting my knee. What are you doing? You're suddenly, like, evil. I don't know. No, I'm scared now. He does this, he'll be all cool and calm and collected, and then he'll just go and want to kill you. You see that eye? Can you see how he's glaring? Are you mad at me? Huh? Why is your eye doing that? You're creeping me out, man. What? Are you okay? Oh, okay. You can leave. It's fine. So, plus, as you can see, I got a shower, because I was going to get a shower, and then, poof! There was no light. So I think I'm gonna end this now. I've read a total of 6 books for the Booktubeathon. Technically, I did start A Reaper at the Gates before the Booktubeathon started. So technically, I didn't read that full book during the Booktubeathon. But as we can tell, I'm not gonna be too technical with myself. Even though I didn't technically complete the Booktubeathon in its full capacity, I did way better than I was expecting to do, and I am not complaining. Okay, so I was going to read until 12 and then update you on how far I had gotten, because here's Waylon back. I thought, I might as well, but then the power went out again. It is currently 11:27, so I think I'm just going to, hello Waylon, call it a night and just go to bed. There's 30 minutes left. I probably won't get that much reading done anyway. Waylon's gonna chill in my lap. Do y'all see him? Look at how cute he looks. He was wanting me to pet him. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see y'all again in another one soon.